On today's Bible reading, we'll be studying the book of Job chapter 1 and 2 and also Acts chapter 7 from verse 22 to 43. Starting with Acts chapter 7 from verse 22. He was taught all the wisdom of the Egyptians and had become a great man in words and deeds. When Moses was 40 years old, he decided to find out how his people Israelites were being treated. He saw one of them being mistreated by an Egyptian, so he went to help him and took revenge on the Egyptian by killing him. He thought that his own people would understand that God was going to use him to set them free, but they did not understand. The next day, he saw two Israelites fighting and he tried to make peace between them. "Listen, men," he said, "you are fellow Israelites. Why are you fighting like this?" But the one who was mistreating the other pushed Moses aside. "Who made you ruler and judge over us?" he asked. "Do you want to kill me just as you killed the Egyptian yesterday?" When Moses heard this, he fled from Egypt and went to live in the land of Midian. There he had two sons. After 40 years had passed, an angel appeared to Moses in a flame of burning bush in the desert near Mount Sinai. Moses was amazed by what he saw, and he went near the bush to get a better look. But he heard the Lord's voice, "I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Moses trembled with fear and dared not look. The Lord said to him, "Take your sandal off, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. I have seen the cruel suffering of my people in Egypt. I have heard their groans. I have come down to set them free. Come now, I will send you to Egypt." Moses is the one who was rejected by the people of Israel. "Who made you rulers and judge over us?" they asked. He is the one whom God sent to rule the people and set them free with the help of the angel who appeared to him in the burning bush. He led the people out of the Egypt, performing miracles and wonders in Egypt and at the Red Sea for 40 years in the desert. Moses is the one who said to the people of Israel, "God will send you a prophet just as he sent me, and he will be one of your people." He is the one who was with the people of Israel assembled in the desert. He was there with our ancestors and with the angels who spoke to him on Mount Sinai, and he received God's living messages to pass on to us. But our ancestors refused to obey him. They pushed him aside and wished they could not go back to Egypt. So they said to Aaron, "Make us some gods who will lead us. We do not know what has happened to that man Moses who brought us out of Egypt." It was then that they made an idol in shape of a bull, offered sacrifice to it, and had a feast in honor of what they themselves had made. So God turned away from them and gave them over to worship the stars of heaven, as it is written in the book of the prophet, "People of Israel, it was not to me that you slaughtered and sacrificed animals for 40 years in the desert. It was the tent of the god Molech that you carried, and the image of Rephan, your star god, that were idols that you had made to worship. And so I will send you to exile beyond Babylon." Hallelujah. So we're going to the book of Job chapter 1 and chapter 2. Job chapter 1. There was a man named Job living in the land of Uz, who worshipped God and was faithful to him. He was a good man, careful not to do anything evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 1,000 head of cattle, and 500 donkeys. He also had a large number of servants and was the richest man in the East. Job's son used to take turns giving a feast, to which all the people would come, and they also invite their 3 sisters to join them. The morning after each feast, Job would get up early and offer sacrifices to each of his children in order to purify them. He also did this because he thought that one of them might have sinned by insulting God unintentionally. When the day came from the heavenly beings to appear before the Lord, Satan was there among them. The Lord asked him, "What have you been doing?" Satan answered, "I have been walking here and there, roaming around the earth." "Did you notice my servant Job?" the Lord asked. "There is no one on earth as faithful and good as he is. He worships me and is careful not to do anything evil." Satan replied, "Would Job worship you if he got nothing out of it? You have always protected him and his family and everything he owns. You bless everything he does, and you have given him enough cattle to fill the whole country. But now Suppose you take away everything he has, it will cost you to your face. All right, the Lord said to Satan, everything he has is in your power, but you must not hurt Job himself. So Satan left. One day, when Job's children were having a feast at home of their oldest brother, a messenger came running to Job. We were plowing the field with the oxen, he said, and the donkeys were in a nearby pasture. Suddenly, the Sabeans attacked and stole them all. They killed every one of your servants except me. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Before he had finished speaking, another servant came and said, lightning struck the sheep and the shepherd and killed them all. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Before he had finished speaking, another servant came and said, 3 bands of Chaldean raiders attacked us, took away the camels and killed all your servants except me. I'm the only one who escaped to tell you. Before he had finished speaking, another servant came and said, your children were having a feast at the home of your eldest son. When a storm swept in from the desert, it blew the house down and killed them all. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Then Joseph got up and tore his clothes in grief. He shaved his head and threw himself face down on the wall. He said, I was born with nothing, and I will die with nothing. The Lord gave, and now he has taken away. May his name be praised. In spite of having that had happened, in spite of everything that had happened, Job did not sin by blaming God. When that day came for the heavenly beasts to appear before the Lord, Satan was there among them. The Lord asked him, where have you been? Satan answered, I've been walking here and there, roaming around the earth. Did you notice my servant Job? The Lord asked. There is no one on earth as faithful and as good as he is. He worshipped me and is careful not to do anything evil. He persuaded me to let you attack him for no reason at all. But Job is still as faithful as ever. Satan, a person will give you everything in order to stay alive, but now suppose you hurt his body, it will cause you to your face. So the Lord said to Satan, all right, he is in your power, but you are not to kill him. Then Satan left the Lord's presence and made sore breaks out all over Job's body. Job went and sat by the garbage dump and took a piece of broken pottery to scrape his sore. His wife said to him, you are still as faithful as ever, aren't you? Why don't you curse God and die? Job's answer, you are talking nonsense. When God sends us something good, we will welcome it. How can we complain when he sends us trouble? Even in all his suffering, Job said nothing against God. 3 of Job's friends were Eliphaz from the city of Teman, Bildad from the land of Shua, and Sophar from the land of Nama. When they heard how Job had been suffering, they decided to go and comfort him. While they were still on their way off, they saw Job but did not recognize him. When they did, they began to weep and wail, tearing their clothes in grief and throwing dust into the hair and on their heads. Then they sat there on the ground with him for 7 days and nights without saying a word, because they saw how much he was suffering. Hallelujah. Check in caption for the summary of the Bible reading for today. See you tomorrow.